Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. This is Catch Up Quick, where we catch you up on the stories making headlines. So let's get into this first one. Right now underway, the trial of a man accused of murdering Georgia nursing student Laken Riley is in court. There is a motions hearing for Jose Ibarra. Police say Jose Ibarra killed Riley while on campus of the University of Georgia back in February. Ibarra is in the United States illegally. Now, earlier this week, his brother, Diego Ibarra, was set to be sentenced for a separate crime. However, court was canceled for that specific hearing. We are following this court hearing today out of Athens closely, and we'll let you know everything that we learn on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Destruction from Milton continues to impact families as many are starting to return to Central Florida after this hurricane swept through the state. Now, people that are returning home are coming to see what's been left behind after Milton swept through. For many, homes and businesses are flooded. Hundreds of people had to be rescued from floodwaters, and sand is piled high. That is just some of what many folks are dealing with. At least 16 people were killed, and we are expecting to learn more as investigators are able to comb through some of the devastated communities. Right now, more than 2.5 million customers are still without electricity. That's according to the poweroutages.us. That number is down from more than the 3 million that we reported to you yesterday. Now, it seems Milton didn't spare anyone. Homes are filled with feet of water and destroyed. One of the women that we spoke to in Tampa said her house was fine when she went to bed, but then when she woke up at 5 yesterday, the house was filled with water. She says she lost everything in the process and doesn't know where to begin. Now, local, state, and federal responders are in Florida to help with recovery efforts, and they say it's going to take a lot of time.
When I no longer had a place to live, I had to pack what I had, and this is it.
This is the second time Cheryl Gray, who's from the Tampa area, has had to evacuate a storm zone in 2 weeks.
It's just like, I've had enough.
Gray drove into the greater Atlanta area to seek refuge. She says her home was destroyed in Hurricane Helene. Florida, now taking a second hit from Milton, has left her with nothing to go back to.
Just exhausting, devastating. Trying to stay strong, but you break down every now and then.
As images of Milton's destructive path continue to surface, much needed relief is on the way. Thursday, Home Depot had over 400 volunteers assembling disaster relief kits that will be sent down to Florida and North Carolina.
Inside these kits are the things that we know are most needed for flooding. So it's PPE, the masks in case there's mold. There's cleaning supplies. There's trash bags. Just the things that we know from our stores are what people need the most. We're putting them all together in one bucket, handing it out through a drive-through, and getting it to the communities as quickly as we can.
Getting phone calls and texts from people who took the risk and stayed.
Where I live, I have a friend that lives down the street. He said his apartment had 4 inches of water, or 4 feet, sorry. 4 feet, I'd have to look at my phone. He had to be evacuated in the middle of the night by rescue.
Gray says she's turning this tragedy.
You don't realize I had no pillowcases, nothing. So that's what's left.
Into an opportunity for a new beginning.
I'm looking for other jobs in other places, other states, not even Florida.
Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
And a reminder to all of you who are registered to vote, early voting begins next Tuesday. The deadline to apply for an absentee ballot is the 25th. The general election now weeks away. November 5th is going to be the date that you want to make sure if you're voting on the day in person, you have that on your calendar. At this point, it is Finally official, Georgia voters will not get extra time to register for next month's election. So if you are unsure if you are registered, please go check the Secretary of State's website right now. You are not able to get registered at this point after a judge ordered that extension would not be granted. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is outside the Fulton County government offices downtown with a look at what the decision ultimately came to and how advocacy groups filed this lawsuit in hopes of getting that extension granted.
At least 40 advocacy groups were a part of this lawsuit. They claimed that people weren't able to register to vote because of the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, all of that cleanup. There was a lot of people without power, without internet, and some 35 counties actually had to close their government offices or election offices during all of that cleanup. A federal judge didn't see it that way, ruling against those groups. Multiple civil rights organizations, including Georgia's NAACP chapter, filed this lawsuit. They argued that the state should reopen registration through next Monday. Many of those groups were forced to cancel voter registration activities last week due to Helene. Now, historically, there's a spike in Georgia voter registration just before the deadline, which was Tuesday. And here's why that matters. Right now, Georgia has 8.2 million registered voters. But with Georgia's presidential race having been decided by only 12,000 votes in 2020, a few thousand votes could make a difference in whether Republican Donald Trump or Democrat Kamala Harris wins the state's 16 electoral votes.
I think it's important that every qualified Georgian has an opportunity to register, and not because of acts of God or forces of nature should they be stopped.
Now, the plaintiffs still have an opportunity to appeal this. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. In the meantime, starting next Tuesday, early in-person voting can taking place here at these government offices here in Fulton County and other election offices across the state. We're outside the Fulton County government offices in downtown Atlanta. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And it's Friday, so we have to talk about the largest Pride celebration in the Southeast that is happening this weekend. Atlanta's love for the LGBTQ community is already on full display across the city. Celebrations kicked off yesterday with remarks from the second gentleman of the United States, and Atlanta City Hall was filled yesterday with folks ringing in the official start of Atlanta Pride and the mayor's Pride reception.
From the second gentleman of the United States,
have a great Pride weekend,
to Pretty Woman actor and Smyrna native Julia Roberts.
To be who we want to be, where we want to be, how we want to be, that's all we need is each other.
Atlanta Pride has everyone out and celebrating early, starting with Pride Brunch with the Vice President's husband at the King Plow Arts Center.
She was the first Vice President ever to participate in a Pride Parade, and I was standing right there with her. Doing that.
Even Atlanta's transportation is decked out.
We feel that having these buses wrapped with a Pride artwork is an expression of our support, an expression that, like, hey, you know, it's okay to be you on MARTA, and MARTA is for everyone.
MARTA held a Pride celebration at their North Avenue station.
A lot of us come with many years of challenges, and which is why it becomes so meaningful when you're in a workplace where you have leaders, the CEO and you know, all the MARTA leadership being very open with their support for us.
And the day ended with the mayor's 6th annual sold-out Pride reception, a party with a purpose that benefits the mayor's youth scholarship program.
It's very much a city of civil rights and human rights. Atlanta always shows that we care, that we don't look for division, we look to unify, and that's what Pride is all about.
Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.
And we hope you can join us Sunday for the Pride Parade. But if you can't, we will be streaming it live for you right here on Atlanta News First Plus. You can also catch it on Peachtree TV. That starts at noon. And a lot of folks are planning to get outside this weekend. So I want to bring in First Alert Meteorologist Rodney Harris with a look at your forecast.
And it is a phenomenal time to be outdoors, Maria, not only today, but the entire weekend. Really, most of your 7-day forecast is looking really good. The only thing you'll have to watch out for are those temperatures in the morning, which will be quite cool, as what you saw today. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. This morning, a lot of us dropping into the 40s for the first time in a while, at least in the suburbs, and that'll happen again for Saturday. But how about this? On the right-hand side of your screen, that is a live look at Centennial Olympic Park. It'll be sunny basically throughout the entire day today. Do want to get you an update on those temperatures now, because even though it started cool, we are starting to warm up a little bit. 63 in Atlanta, 60 in Covington, 60 in Gainesville, still 49 in LJ, so you're still quite chilly up in the mountains, and 58 degrees is your current temperature in Carrollton. So today, 75 degrees, near average, perfect sunshine today, no issues whatsoever. As we break it down hour by hour for you today, at 1 o'clock, 72 degrees, at 4, 74. The high will actually be around 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 69 degrees, and 62 by 10 o'clock this evening. So again, today is looking fantastic. Saturday will be cooler in the morning than what we saw this morning. So if you have any plans Saturday morning, especially before 10 a.m., it will be chilly out there. 51 in Atlanta, which means that just about everybody else will be in the 40s around 7 o'clock. In the city of Atlanta, 52 degrees at 8 o'clock, 56 at 9. We're in the 60s in Atlanta by 10 o'clock Saturday morning, and then we are up to 71 degrees at lunchtime on Saturday. Sunday will be warmer, 82 degrees. Maria was mentioning the Pride Parade. That's at noon again on Peachtree TV. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees around lunchtime, so it'll be nice and warm and sunny on Sunday afternoon. Monday, we have a cold front that's moving in. This cold front will be a dry front. We don't really see a ton of rain, maybe a shower or two for the mountains. 81 is your high Monday. That cooler air will be felt on Tuesday with a high of only 71 degrees, so we do drop by like 10 degrees on Tuesday. For Wednesday in the morning, 44 degrees, so that will be cold in Atlanta and even cooler in the suburbs with the low 40s, and upper 30s are not impossible, especially for the mountains or the northern suburbs like Cherokee County, North Cobb County, Forsyth County, North Gwinnett County. 66 for Wednesday afternoon. The last time our high was below 70 degrees in Atlanta was May 13th, so it's been a while since we've stayed in the 60s all day, and that's why Wednesday's a first alert weather day. It's not really a dangerous day, but we want to make sure that you know that on Wednesday it will be chilly not only in the morning but the entire day. So that's a really nice 7-day forecast. A lot of sunshine on that map. We'll see some clouds around North Georgia on Monday and Tuesday as that cool front is moving through, but otherwise really decent forecast here for North Georgia. Again, the mornings will be cool, pleasant in the afternoons, even warm on some days, including Sunday, but nothing to really complain about. Again, no rain over the next 7 days, but we'll keep you up to date on whenever those rain chances return in the First Alert Weather app. We hope you have an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.